Hello, it is Elise Emost, and we are back with the Change Forward World Tour series. The tour stop one of the Change Forward World Tour is officially complete. The construction ready media team caught me on camera on moving day, and so I want to show you all a clip of me just talking about how excited it was being in the building before the build. Check it out. Check it out.
We are so excited. This is the 2026, 20 years of putting on a career expo that is like the Please Touch Me Museum for all of skills, trades, and construction management. It is so amazing. Construction's out here from electrical, safety, roofing, plumbing, water. You got it. We got it. All right, you all have to be down here. And if you are not here this year, guess what? 2027 is your year. You got to get down here.
Woohoo! I meant what I said. If you were not there, if you were not in the building, you gotta be back. 2027 is your year. You gotta get down here. If you need to be at the Construction Ready Career Expo Georgia 2027, you need to be in that building. Before students even walked in, you could feel the experience already being shaped while the expo exhibitors were setting up their space. And as a purpose architect, I'm always asking, what does the audience need before they arrive? What does a sponsor need before they activate their booth? What does students need before they decide that this is the path they want to pursue, the career that they want to focus on, the scholarship that they want to be part of? And so just really proud. The biggest takeaway of my first world tour stop is this: experience builds trust, and trust builds pipelines. Industry leaders showed up, educators showed up, students competed on statewide skills competitions in that building. Employers engaged directly with early talent and changed some lives. That is truly what you call a win-win. And I need to tell you all something. The 2026 Construction Ready Career Expo is not just a little career fair, okay? It truly felt like a show. When you think about icons and great performers of our time, they obsess over the people's experience, the attendee experience, the lights, the sound, the transitions, the details, the way the audience feels before they even take their seat. That was the same energy that went into the expo. That was the same energy that went into the exhibitors and the sponsor experience at the Career Expo with Construction Ready in Atlanta. And I was so grateful to be contracted as part of their team to serve in this capacity. Going on tour is exciting, but it is also responsibility. Behind every powerful experience, it requires a level of detail that I love to call precision. And it all matters. It all shapes the entire experience. So moving day energy. I had my first forklift conversation with an exhibitor who had an entire paint house that they had on a trailer, and they needed to get that big old paint house, different paint house sets from the trailer to the floor, to the showroom floor. And just that timing, the need for it, coordinating, those are things that you don't even think about. Vehicle displays being positioned correctly on the expo floor. Like, you don't want the vehicle to fully block another exhibitor booth experience, and just trying to be thoughtful about how things are going, planned versus what happens in real world. We plan for so many things, but then at the expo, experiences come out of left field. Things are new. Things come up unexpected. Needs are new from exhibitors. And just having that flexibility, I call it that solution-oriented mindset. being a solution specialist, an expert in solutioning, is what really carries and wins the day in any kind of expo exhibitor showcase. Making sure that the world leaders have their unique layouts, what they need, what they asked for, they got, were served. If they needed anything else, just being there, anticipating some needs, and just having it on time. I think the best high compliment I got of the entire expo was when we were moving in and setting up one of the exhibitors. I don't even remember exactly what I said, but I was explaining the process. I had papers ready. I had the next steps of the communication well thought out, and I was basically answering the questions that he had as top of mind. And he just had a calming moment, and he said, "Wow, were you in the Navy SEALs? You are very efficient." And honestly, I never considered being an expo coordinator equivalent to Navy SEALs work, but apparently the Change Forward firm has provided a level of detail that has that level of precision. So we'll take that compliment. Another big thing is just making certain that people are having a good experience, ensuring that the documents are gathered, the check-ins for the workshops are set up. I was also had the honor to organize the workshops for the educational series and the industry series. So it was the work-based learning and counselors workshop, as well as the employer educational workshop. Both of those required speakers and just kind of making certain that flow of the show, that run of the show was happening. And honestly, the workforce solution is really about execution, and that is exactly what Change Forward Industry does. We build systems that elevate talent and strengthen business capacity, and I was honored to be part of the Construction Ready team for that. But really, one of the things that I would be remiss if I didn't talk about was the collaboration and the teamwork. This event is a collaboration between Construction Ready and Skills USA. I have called it the Please Touch Me Museum of the Trades. In fact, because students are not just looking, they're experiencing, they're gaining exposure, they are really getting a unique fulfillment of the skilled trades in a way that is very thoughtful and intentional. And big shout outs to the team at Construction Ready. Scott Sheelar, the CEO, John Wilhoit, the COO, and the amazing entire operations team. Cortland Good, she is the executive assistant, and she is amazing. She anticipates needs like no one else's business. She really helped make the experience and organizing in ways that were phenomenal. So really got to give her a round of applause. Dawn as well. Dawn does design. She says she makes things look pretty, and boy does she. Between the logo signage and really just helping amplify the presentations that I provided at the workshop experience. I mean, she's just amazing. Really appreciate everything that you see visually is pretty because of Dawn. And Ash, oh my gosh, Ash Mangum is a director, a program director within Construction Ready. And when I tell you, he served as the most phenomenal MC ever. I mean, talk about just knowing how to get the people going, get the conversation started, giving the context, the right context for the conversation, just phenomenal. Big shout out to Charles Crosby. I mean, taking me under his wing to really show me the layout, the landscape of everything that he's provided in just understanding the organization and just some things about business practices that I would have never really thought about. And I was just grateful that as a contractor, building that team environment, that level of trust, that was part of this experience. And the level of trust that the industry has in Construction Ready is earned. 20 years of consistent programming does not happen by accident. When you talk about 12,000 attendees, educator leadership in the space, whether career counselors, work-based learners, administrators, schools. They are driving children in droves, employers showing up day in, day out, skills competitions, helping as judges, being tech chairs, fully being world leaders to make that Expo Exhibitor really what it's just a phenomenal experience. This year at the Work-Based Learning and Counselors Workshop, we had the privilege of honoring career champions who were peer nominated at the session, and we were able to give an award to a career champion that has gone above and beyond in creating work-based opportunities for youth in high school. And then just like really just pouring in with insights. I mean, we had a trick of the trade roundtable this year at the employer educational workshop where success stories between students and industry leaders and as well as the teachers that was part of that student's exposure in a construction-based program, they got to come back together, reunite as graduates, the students as graduates, and talk about where they are now within the industry and construction. And just the theme of this series, if nothing else, is teamwork. You know, that experience that we talk about with these icons. I think about my girl Beyonce and how she puts on her world tour and all the thought that goes into shaping that experience. Just teamwork. It doesn't happen in one person. It's not a one band stand. And what construction has taught me, I just am so proud that this was the first tour. Construction is team based. Workforce development is team based, and large scale impact is all team based. It all goes together. But here's the part that I want to bring up that no one glamorizes when we think about the entire experience of a tour. Tour life requires recovery, sleep. I'll say it again, sleep. And so right after that tour, I had to go away for the weekend and visit a friend of mine who is having a baby, and I just was exhausted. And so, you know, recovery. I definitely had to do some recovery to restore. I was proud during the tour. One of the things that I was able to do was wake up the morning of the setup day, go to the gym, read my Bible, and really just have a really fantastic day. My mindset was right. My body, my mind was right and ready to take on all the things that came with planning an event. But getting some good sleep post tour was something that I prioritized this week. I definitely did 2 nights of really good sleep, I would say. And it took me a while to return back to getting the 5 a.m. workouts that I try to do most days a week. But I was proud to say that after a week post-event on a struggle, I returned on Friday morning for a 5 a.m. workout. So I will say protecting your capacity, understanding that life has ebb and flows is the biggest takeaway of post-event tour, post-tour stop, and just getting your energy back up to prepare for the next event. And the next tour stop is a wellness focused event. The next tour stop is Bermuda Connection 5K, 10K in Bermuda, out of the country. Part of the reason why this is a world tour, it is owned by Running Nerds LLC. The race director, Tess Silvermehan Marshall, is phenomenal, and she has created a road race experience that you will see if you're not going to be there in person. But I'm honored to be there supporting partnerships and experiences. A few sponsors actually. And we also will be checking out, some of the participants will have access to the Capacity Check tool. It's an app. I built this wellness tool inspired by the Queen Beauty podcast. It is called the Capacity Check. The Capacity Check helps you assess when you need support, when you need recovery, and when you are operating in overload. Because performance without awareness leads to burnout. Point blank, period. And so I'll close with the fact that I am so grateful. And if we don't remember anything else, forward is a moving pace, but forward also requires the pause to build the energy up for the next tour stop. So check me out with the Change Forward World Tour coming back next week. I will be in Bermuda March 4th through the 9th. We will be having a fantastic 5K that Saturday, March 7th. And I am just so grateful to be part of this inspiration of change in industry. Check me back soon for the next tour recap.